Good morning, everybody. Jacob Cruz, Team EVA Expeditionary Veterans Association. It is another beautiful Sunday, and we are headed to Skypark for our out-of-county ride. Today is going to be a momentous occasion because there's a big event that's happening today that Adam Mock and Mark from the segment is hosting for mental health, and they are bringing some of the sickest mountain bike crews here in SoCal together, including EVA. So being that it's going to be focusing on mental health, the first part of my video is going to be, riding the typical Skypark, but then the second part of the video, we're going to try to catch the highlights of the interviews that are going to be happening on stage at Skypark. So between 10 and 2 is going to be your meet and greet, hang out with the mountain bike crews that you've seen post up on social media on YouTube, and then from 10 to 4 o'clock is going to be sitting down on stage, being interviewed with Mark Hill about mental health and the different aspects of it and how it affects everyone's lives. So it's going to be a big day. It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be gratifying, and hopefully we can't help everybody, but we're hoping we can just help at a minimum one person out of this whole event. And that's all it takes, is that one person who is going through a lot, and to help them out. And then, you never know, it might help more than one, it might help a lot, but the focus is on mental health and how we can combat this in every aspect that we can, in order to save lives. That's the whole purpose. Without further ado, guys, I'm pretty sure you don't want me talking anymore. Let's get on these trails and let's get this event going. See you there. Choo! Hi, guys. So as you can see, we're starting to kick off. What up? What up? That guy, I haven't seen him in like forever, man. He just left me for another woman. I miss you. Shit. You gotta say no homo, bro. No homo. So yeah. So they're already opening up the gate. Got Adam Mock, and it's somewhere back there. And you guys got from Transcend. My guys are already starting to show up. Adam Mock's back there. SpokeX just came in. They're in there already. Bomber Crew's already out here. So yeah, we're getting it right along, and it's not even 8 o'clock. I think it's 8:30, something like that, but we're starting early. So anyways, we'll take short videos while we're going in, let you guys know how it's going. So till then, see you in there. So we're still out here. We're about to go line up right now. Everybody's starting to show up. As you can see, parking lot is filled. Park is about to open. Skypark, there it is. Yeah.
I have the other one. I have the box. I'm a two box. Standing here, get it over like it's
Woo! Make sure you're open. Get a little air here, little air there. Warm up and sleigh ride.
couple things on it. Take that one. I'm gonna make this wall ride. Pull the tire. What? Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Look at all that ass. Oh shit. Roller! Kind of dark. Go right. Hold your speed. Drop. You. Feature. Well, Tal. Woo! This guy.
What's up, Team EVA? I'm on stage here with Jacob Cruz, one of your leaders out there. Look at this. We're backstage right now.
Craziness.
Trying to practice putting on a show. Mental health awareness, Team EVA, PTSD. Jacob, thank you for everything.
Hey, not a problem. See you guys soon, guys.
Wow.
And that's our magicians. That's how you say it, right? Magicians? That's it. I don't know. Magicians. It's magic. All right, guys. We'll see you at 2:30. Thanks. So the sponsors came out today. We got Tasco. We got the Newport Healthcare that came out. What's up, guys? Good. We got Generation MTB. And the illustrious dude right here.
I wouldn't use that word.
I want you.
Okay. Wait, let me cover the camera. So.
Yeah, cheers.
Dude, how do you like those apples?
And then we got Spoke X, and then Transcend at the bottom end. All right, guys, let's get back on the trails. Corners not high. Ready? All right, rolling. Rolling. Behind you. Huh? No.
The red frame jersey?
No. Take it. Very dusty, very dusty. Whew. Full sleep. Whew, damn.
I know, that thing is
A long fucking run, bro.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fully. Ah. Whoa, shit. Misfoot. Get your footing, bro. Huh? Yeah. Dropping. Woo! Birds! Look at the segregated crew that wears green jerseys only. No, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it.
Here's the green cable.
The green table.
South side.
South
Let me say
side.
from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This is, from what we understand, kind of the first event of its kind in SoCal, and it's, you know, it's the ability to ride and then focus on our mental health, which is terrifying. But we're here, and you all shouted this out, and you did exactly what a community should do, which is take ownership of something so wonderful that helps level the playing field for all of us and elevates the entire community ever upward. So thank you so much for that from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. For those who might not know who I am, my name's Adam Mock. And, oh, thank you. I got a little... Hey, I got a big one. I love you. I love Aaron too. What's that, Norm? I did. My name's Adam Mock. I have a small YouTube channel that's growing, and I appreciate your support on that. But when I'm not on the trails, what I do for a living is I work in the personal and professional development realm as a leadership coaching specialist. And all that means is that I actually get to help make great leaders. And you don't have to have a job to be a great leader. It's simply about raising your self-awareness so that you can understand why you do what you do. And that allows you to live and lead your life at full choice. I absolutely love being able to do that for people. The trick to this whole thing, though, is a lot of the work I do has to do with the narratives in people's minds, these stories that we tell ourselves. We actually experience the world through emotion first. Most people don't realize that. We experience through emotion first, and then we have to think about what to do with that information. And a lot of times that story we write is horrific. It's scary. It's terrifying to us. And what makes it even worse and what magnifies it is we are too scared to share that information with everybody else. Because we're worried about what they're gonna think. We're worried about being judged. We're worried about the comparisons of other people. So what do? We armor up and we don't share that information. The goal here today is actually speak openly about it. How many people here know who Brene Brown is? Ooh, Brene Brown fans, awesome. Brene's awesome. Look, if you don't know who Brene Brown is, look her up. She's the authority on all things like about vulnerability and authenticity. And she's really great, and she's done a lot of research in this area. Now, one of the things that she talks about is this armor that we wear to keep from being real. And she identifies 3 of the top things. The number one thing is this armor of perfectionism. It's this need for us to be perfect. But perfectionism is an illusion. And I think it's so relatable, right? Like, in this age of social media, we look at people's highlight reels and their filters and the slick music and the cuts, and we go, everyone has it better than me. I'm failing. I don't get it. I can't keep up. I don't understand, and everyone else has it figured out. So we put up this armor of perfection, and someone goes, how you doing? I'm great. Nothing's rocking me. The second armor that we wear is this thing called numbing, and it's this need to avoid. And think about what this means. When we avoid something and we numb, this is where our addictions can come in. It's where we drink to excess or use substances to excess. And for some of us, we're binge watching our favorite shows on Netflix, not for a day, but for days or weeks. And then we go on to the next recommended and the next. And we avoid the thing that we're supposed to do. Maybe it's video games for you, maybe it's social media. Whatever it is, if you're doing it to an excess, as a pattern, you're numbing. The third armor that we usually do is this thing called foreboding joy. It sounds super ominous, and it's really weird, but it's crazy relatable when I explain it. See, joy and happiness are really vulnerable emotions to have, believe it or not. We don't want to display it. We feel vulnerable. Because what if we're super happy and stoked about something, and then it doesn't turn out being what we thought it was, or as good as it was? We get embarrassed. So what do? We say things like, if we're single and we meet somebody and we're asked, how did it go? We go, I think it went good, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to get too excited. What if they don't like me? That job interview, yeah, I think it went good. I'm not going to celebrate yet because what if I don't get it? It's foreboding joy. You're literally telling yourself like, something's coming. A storm is coming. We armor up. Today, we're not armoring up at all. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to find out that we're not perfect. Whew, thankfully, we're not perfect. None of us are here. It's an illusion, as I said. We're not going to avoid the hard conversations. You all are going to hear things today that are going to be very raw, and very honest. We're gonna have them. It's about time we have them. And we're not gonna be guarded. We're gonna be super vulnerable. So please know that when speakers are on stage, this takes an act of courage to be up here and share things that we're normally super scared to share, okay? Now, I want to make sure that you understand exactly why we are doing an event like this. We need to end this stigma about our mental health. Mental health. Yeah, you can applaud that. It's cool. Here's what I mean by that. We can easily go, oh, I'm going for a ride. You want to meet me? Or I can't meet up with you because I'm going to the gym. You know what we don't do? Can't meet up with you. I'm going to my therapist. Sorry, I got to go to my couples counselor. I have to go to my AA meeting. I have to talk to my sponsor. What is so wrong about wanting to be well mentally? Listen, if you have people in your life who are going to shame you for that, they don't need to be in your life. Okay? Find people who will go, please do that. Do that. I want you to be well. That's normal. I want to be able to talk about it like I talk about having to work out or going out to dinner without the stigma and the shame that's associated with something like that. Our goal today is to save one life. From the beginning of this, I said if 100 people show up to ride and 5 people are in the seats and one life is saved, you know how worth it that is? That'd be incredible. Because I have to tell you, from the bottom of my heart, I've heard your stories. You all hit me up because I've shared my story openly. I've gotten the DMs, I've gotten the texts, I've gotten the phone calls. This community hurts. Every community hurts. It's normal. That's an emotion that we have. But here's what I want. I want to wake up tomorrow and see your highlight reels from Skypark. I want to see what a dope time you had and the people that you got to connect with. And the smiles on your face and that stoke that you had. What I don't want is to wake up and to find out you're not here. Because trust me, I would miss you even if I don't know you. Look at how tight this community is. Even how many of you know of people that you haven't even met in this community, right? If you aren't here tomorrow, you are missed. And if someone hasn't told you that, I'm telling you it right now. Because the goal is to save a life here today. I want to share some statistics with you. I don't want to overwhelm you about this, but I really want to create some context. There's an organization called the National Alliance on Mental Illness. It's known as NAMI, N-A-M-I. I'm just going to share a little bit of statistics with you. 1 in 5 Americans live with a mental illness. Think about it like this. You're out on a group ride with 5 people. One of you is going through something and probably not talking about it. Out of embarrassment, shame, judgment. Suicide's the second leading cause of death in the U.S. among people aged 10 to 34. The second leading cause. It's only beat out by unintentional injury. The overall suicide rate in the U.S. has increased 35% since 1999. It's gone up. I'm hoping today we can bring that down. I don't know if social media is always helping us with that, you know what I mean? Like, because that comparison, we get lost in it, we're like, I think I need to be like that. It's tough. 32% of US adults with a mental illness are also going to experience a substance use disorder. I know that's weird to get in your head. To give you an idea, it's 17 million people. And what's really shocking is depression is the leading cause of disability worldwide. It's the leading cause in the entire world is depression. Oh my God, what's going on? I want to give you a chance to participate, and I'm going to make this safe, okay? I'm going to make it super safe. I'll give you a safety net. But by a show of hands, if you personally, or if you know somebody, there's your safety net, personally, close to you, it might be true, suffer from anxiety, you have the courage to raise your hand, just raise your hand. Whoa. Keep your hands up, please. Depression. Addiction. Keep your hands up if you've already put it up. PTSD, post-traumatic stress. Keep them up. Lastly, suicidal thoughts or attempts. Look around. Without judgment, please. Just look around. You are not alone by any stretch of the imagination. In this little microcosm of Southern California at Skypark, in Santa's Village where I met Santa today, you're not alone in this. By any means. by any means. I want to give you a caution before we dive into the deep end. A lot of what is going to be shared here today is very raw. We're going to be honest. Emotions are going to come up. We're not going to hide them. We're not going to act like they don't exist. The language is going to be raw and honest. Please know your threshold. I understand this can be triggering for some people based on your experiences. If at any point you feel the need to get up and leave to compose yourself and maybe not even come back because it's too much, please do that. This is a safe space free of judgment. I want it to be comfortable and I want it to be something valuable to everybody. Okay? So that's just a word of caution about that. Now I want to tell you, Ride and Shine, so here's how it started. It's pretty crazy. It started because I saw a video last October from Lee McCormick. Lee likes bikes. Everyone knows Lee McCormick pretty much, right? The Hinge, I don't even know. The Hinge, row, anti-row, all that good stuff. Really intense personality, knowledgeable, skilled rider. If you haven't seen it, last October, Lee shows this video where he's in Moab out on the Portal Trail. And the Portal Trail, if you've never been there, it's got a ton of exposure. Lee actually says people have accidentally ridden off the exposure to their death. And Lee starts to choke back these tears, this deep, deep sadness. And he talks about how he was in a really, really bad place. And he's on the trail where he said he was going to be out riding that trail with people, teaching them how to ride, full of stoke. And in his words, he was going to empty himself out on that trail. And then he was going to go back there that night and send it off the cliff. And I encourage you to go to watch this because it shook me to hear him so broken about this. What's incredible is Lee, instead in this video, actually gets out a sheet of paper. And he says he wrote down all the lies that he was telling himself. Here's what he was saying to himself. First thing he wrote down was, I'm a piece of shit. Some of us right now are like, I feel that. He said, nobody loves me. I'm only worth what I produce. Some of you work a lot and you think that's your value. I'll work till I can't anymore and I'll die alone. And he goes on to say, no one will miss me. Now at this point, Lee's tears of sadness and this deep remorse for how he was feeling starts to turn to hope. You can actually feel it swell up as he reads his list. And what he does is he crumbles that list up. It's really beautiful. He crumbles it up and he throws that off the cliff. And he goes, that's what I'm doing with those lies because I can't let that define me anymore. I'm here. And my heart leapt for him in that moment. The courage he took to share that with the audience that he has in order to help somebody I thought was incredible. And I resonated with it because I've shared my story of wanting to end my life with this community. If anyone has seen it on my channel, I share very openly in the hope that it's going to save somebody. And if you haven't heard it, I'll share it with you right now briefly. In April 10th of 1996, when I was 23, see, it's hitting me now. I got out 2 razor blades, one for each one of my wrists, and I wrote a suicide note, and I decided I would end my life that night. What preceded that was I was feeling dark, lost, like I didn't get it, like my best days, my best years, my best relationships were behind me. I had broken up with my girlfriend. I was keeping my parents and family at arm's length. I was not opening up to my friends. I was armoring up and soldiering on about things. I was broke, I was scared, and I felt worthless. Worth less than everybody else. No value. So I went out to dinner with my friends that night, and I was pretty numb emotionally, but the thing is, when I got home, I came home to an envelope, which was an eviction notice. And I lived alone, and at 23, I was terrified. I was 2 months behind on my rent, and I had 5 days to pay it or all my stuff was gonna be out on the curb. Now, since I was in this dark place, I had seen a psychiatrist the months before, and during that session, they diagnosed me as being depressed and having ADHD. So for the depression, they prescribed Prozac, and for the ADHD, they prescribed Ritalin, both of which you should not mix with alcohol. Both of which I was mixing with a bottle of wine every night. And I would add NyQuil to it. I would sometimes wake up outside my apartment, passed out in a field. I wouldn't know where I was. Out of habit, I would reach in my pocket and have my keys. My apartment was locked up. April 10th, I wrote that suicide note, and my plan was I would have one razor for each wrist. I know it sounds strange and macabre, but I would have one razor for each wrist, and I was going to turn the shower on and lay in the bathtub with my arms exposed because I thought it wouldn't hurt as much if I did it that way. Thank you, Siri. Nice tension breaker. I was gonna lay in the shower with my arms exposed. I thought it would be less messy if someone found me. And I wanted somebody to know that I was sober. I didn't mix any pills that night. I didn't drink anything that night. So I called my friend Deanna because she was the most stable person I knew and the closest person in my life at that time. And I read that note to her. And I can't imagine the terror she felt on the other end. But I did exactly what I needed to do. I reached out. I connected. I was honest. I stopped the armor. And I could hear her fear, and she was begging me not to do it. Please, Adam, don't do this. And I was like, I don't get it, man. Like, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. The thing that made all the difference to me in that moment was, through her begging and pleading, she finally said, will you give me one more day? Can you give me one more day to talk to you? To just be with you? And I was so flippant. I was like, sure, I'll give you one more day. That's fine. Nothing will change tomorrow. I'll kill myself tomorrow. I went to bed that night sober, not mixing anything, and I slept. If any of you have ideated suicide or come up to that point of the attempt, you know there's this weird illusion of peace. It's like, I don't have to worry about tomorrow anymore. My anxiety's dealt with. I don't have to deal with it. I'm not going to be here. So I slept. I was used to waking up about 1 o'clock in the afternoon from being strung out. I woke up about 6:30, 7 a.m. that morning, and I was alone. And I remember sitting up in my bed, and I took a deep breath. I inhaled. And when I exhaled out loud to myself in that room, I said, I found God. And I'm not here to preach to you, but I'm telling you, it was like I had never heard sound before. Wind blowing through every blade of grass, every leaf on a tree, like I had never seen color before. Very Wizard of Oz. And instantly, I was not suicidal. I felt the sense of value and purpose to my life, even though I did not know what my purpose was. Here I stand today. And so I called my friend Deanna and I said, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to die. I don't think I ever did. She thought I was crazy. She was just happy. She's like, okay, maybe Adam's going through a phase, you know? She was just happy I wasn't going to do it. Here's what I didn't realize. Thinking my greatest relationships were behind me, they weren't, and they're not for you. Within a few months, 2 or 3 months, I would re-meet my wife, Sarah. We knew each other from medieval times, jousting and chicken. We worked there together. You think that's funny? We actually hated each other. So when we re-met, we realized we don't hate each other. That's her right there. We'll be married 25 years this September. Yeah. Love of my life. She's awesome. A year after re-meeting, we would get married. A year after that, we'd have our daughter, Magdalena. We call her Magpie, honeymoon baby. Pretty happy about that. 5 years later, we'd have our son, Gabriel. What's incredible is I would go on to meet my childhood heroes, work with them, run companies, become a leadership coaching specialist, and help affect people's lives. I would meet some of my greatest friendships, and there are too many here to name, and I do not want to leave people out. So I'm not going to name them here except for one in a minute. And I would be a part of this community, a community that embraced this ethnically ambiguous mediocre writer on his YouTube channel. And when I had this idea, I was like, wow, would this community even respond? But you guys did. You turned up today, and I appreciate that. And I have to tell you, hearing Lee's story, being reminded of my own, hearing yours, the first person I called the next day was Mark Hill. I love Mark. I love Mark, and I have to tell you, I called him and I said, hey man, I want to share this video with you from Lee McCormick. And it haunts me, and it reminds me of me, and I've heard the stories in our community, and I want to do something about it. I want to do it at Skypark. The only idea I have is I want to call it Ride and Shine, and man, I need your help. What does Mark say? He goes, let's do it, brother.
Let's do it.
And anyone who knows Mark and gets that, gets a call, hey brother, it's like the best thing, right? So he's like, you don't know, but he's like, let's do it, brother. I'm so grateful to you for this. Because here's the thing, Mark knew what this meant to me personally. He knew what it could mean to our community. And he also knows what it means to him personally. And he's gonna share that with you right now. So give some love to Mark.
That is up, Senders, man.
Happy birthday, Jacob!
Jacob Cruz, we'll start with you. Team EVA for PTSD. What is PTSD?
For everybody, it's going to be different. For people who have never served in the military, it's something you would never expect anybody to actually feel every point and time of the day. For military folks like myself, I've served in the Army from 2000 to 2005 and did for the initial push in Iraq in 2003. A lot of stuff happened during that time. My job, my MOS, for all you military folks who know what that acronym means, was to take lives. I was field artillery, and my job was to literally shoot rounds off, kill the bad guys, push forward to the next point of interest, and just bypass those bodies that I took. From anything from small arm fire to, moving little kids out the way who were deemed as, combatants.
It's okay.
And it's been a long road. How EVA started was, I'm originally from Hawaii, grew up in Hawaii, and I used to mountain bike with my father. We were part of the Hawaii Mountain Bike Association. That's where my love for mountain biking came along. In 2000, I joined the Army, and a lot has happened since then. I got out the Army in 2005, and during that deployment in 2003, I lost a lot of friends. One specifically, which triggered this whole PTSD issue with myself, was one, I saw dead bodies and I took lives, like I stated, and a couple of my best friends actually died in front of me. There was just nothing I could do. One particular incident was that I was supposed to be on a flight with my best friend, who was also from Hawaii. He was with the National Guard unit, and him and I used to converse all the time. Hey, when are you going on this convoy? I was like, probably tomorrow, probably in a couple weeks. Every day we talk back and forth. Well, it happened that he was on the next convoy. My leadership said, hey, you're supposed to be on that next convoy with him. Well, that very day we were supposed to go on that convoy, I got taken off. He went on the convoy, took a flight out to one of the nearing villages, and his helicopter, he was on a Chinook, which is a dual propeller helicopter, crashed. That was supposed to be me. Until this day, I still feel like it's supposed to be me.
Wow, Jacob.
That's a lot of stuff I have to deal with every day. So looking back, between all the stuff I just explained, it's been a fight to figure out what my true purpose was. But forward, as soon as I got out the military, I'm current law enforcement. I've been law enforcement since I got out. Law enforcement, as you guys know, a lot of people don't like us. Some people love us because of what we do. But what we do is for the community, to keep everybody safe. I had no outlet at the time, and just so happens that my management asked who wants to be part of the bicycle patrol. I was like, shoot, I used the mountain bike back in high school. Screw it. What's up? I'll do it. So me and my partner decided to go. Did a 2-week stint and down to San Diego, and it was fun. That kind of triggered my love for mountain biking again. And at the time, I had a different organization where I helped vets that the homeless vets, and my partner, he actually moved back to New Mexico, so I had a business on my own where I had to kind of stop what I was doing and refocus on myself and what I was going to progress in the future. And that's how EVA started. I started mountain biking. I asked my wife, I'm like, I need a name. She said, well, you need to figure it out, because I don't know what the hell you vets do. So I was like, I was going through a book of names, and I was like, you know what, expeditionary. Because that's what a lot of us military do. We get lost in the woods, you know, we do fire missions, we go camping, as you know, people say, you guys do a lot of fun in the woods, which is really not a lot of fun. But Expeditionary Veterans Association came about. And primarily our goal is to help people with, or help vets and active duty service members that suffer with PTSD and this has been since, well, it's been 8 years since I started the organization. And slowly, even though I'm helping the guys in my group, we've helped many other people along the way. I know I can count 8 people within the last 8 years we've helped from committing suicide, which, you know, you can't help them all, but it's the fact that we're out here helping everybody else that's going to need the help. That's one of the reasons why we're here today for this Ride and Shine.
Beautiful. Thank you for everything you do. Also on stage with us is Fred Salazar. He's the leader of the general of the group, the Bomber Crew. I was talking with Fred backstage, and not all PTSD happens in battle. In fact, Fred's going to share some close stories on some of the things that also happened once they get back from the fight.
All right, so my name's Fred Salazar. I was serving in the Marine Corps from 2002 to 2008. You know, like he was saying, you know, there's a lot of things that happen overseas, and you know, that's a hard thing to deal with already. But it also happens on our bases here, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of young guys that come back or don't even go anywhere just yet and are already dealing with things that can affect them pretty big. So in my case, I worked at a infantry training battalion, which is a school where we train people to go to war. And you know, we were in an office setting. It was a quiet day. You know, I just hear screaming from one of the restrooms that's, you know, a few feet away from my office. And I run out there. We go into this restroom, and there's a Marine hanging. And so, you know, being Marines, none of us had a knife. None of us had anything to get him down with. We couldn't cut this thing off around his neck. And so it took us a while to get him down. We eventually did. We drug him out. Unfortunately, we were too late. So that was, you know, a pretty bad experience. You know, that happened. That happens here, and it happens all the time. I was telling the guys that just that year, you know, on that base, we had several. You know, especially around holidays. That's when, you know, everybody goes down, and you know, everybody gets sad. You know, I could sit up here and tell you guys about a bunch of them, but that's the one that really stands out. I saw this guy's face. I, you know, was trying to pull him down. We couldn't pull him down. It was a mission to do it, and you know, that's the one that sticks with me the most.
Man, thank you for sharing that story.
For sure.
And that affected you.
What up, guys? So I'm back home in my humble abode. Ride and Shine was phenomenal. The fact that we were able to get this event information out within a couple weeks, and the massive people that came out for support. Big ups to Skypark for letting us host this at their venue. This was great, man. I'm hoping the messages we sent across the board with the multiple people who spoke on mental health, were able to get something out of it, different aspects of mental health. But thanks for everybody who supports our channel, our organization, and other mountain bike groups that focus on mental health as well. So if at any time you guys want to come through, drop us a DM, drop any other crews a DM that you need, letting them know you need some help, you know, reach out, man. We're always here for you, and hopefully our help can help you and help others on the way. because it does go a long way if you reach out. So that being said, guys, it's time to wash my butt, eat some food, and wash my bike. Until next time, guys, Jacob Cruz, Team EVA Expeditionary Veterans Association. We out, guys. See you on the next ride. Choo!